Oh, all right, thank you.
Well, childhood obesity has increased fourfold since the 1970s, and there is a growing push to do something about it.
In fact, this month is the first ever National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, and it's all thanks to Congresswoman Marcia Fudge. She is leading the charge against the epidemic, and she joins us this morning to talk about it. Congresswoman, always good to see you. Thanks for stopping by this morning. I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is, why is it such a problem here in the United States?
There are many reasons, certainly, but when you look at communities like ours, and I'll talk about home first, when you think about the fact that in so many communities there are not grocery stores, when you think about the fact that today 80% of children don't do any physical exercise, they don't have gym in schools anymore, they don't go out and play, they sit at home and they play games, we eat the wrong foods, and so what happens today in our community is 1 in every 3 children will in their lifetime become a diabetic because they're obese. In the African American and Hispanic community, 1 in 2 children will develop diabetes because they are obese or overweight. It is an epidemic that people have ignored for a very, very long time. But in this country, we spend $14 billion in health care costs directly related to childhood obesity. $14 billion annually.
You have embraced this cause. You have the support of the president in all of this. And how do you break this cycle that has been going on for some time now?
We have to start to educate parents in particular. When you live in a poor community, let's just use as an example, it is a lot easier for you to go and buy fast food. It is easier for you when you can get to a grocery store to buy things that are going to sustain you for long periods of time. So you buy potatoes, you buy rice, you buy heavy starches, as opposed to fruits and vegetables, which we don't eat. Most communities you can't even find fresh fruits and vegetables. You have to get more physical exercise. And parents have to start to train young people to eat healthier, to make better choices, because most young children eat what their parents give them.
Now, what can you do? What can Congress do to change this situation?
There are many things actually Congress can do. The first thing is we can start to look at what we feed kids in schools. The Childhood Nutrition Act is something that Congress is responsible for. So we have to start to make sure kids get healthier foods. One of the reasons young people don't get good food in schools is because most schools in urban communities don't have refrigerators, freezers, or working ovens.
Wow. So I didn't know that.
Most people don't know it. But if we could do that, we could make sure that the foods are fresher and healthier.
Is that because of budgetary?
Many times it is. And at one point they were building schools without kitchens. Because all the food was processed, it's sent in, and so all they did was put it on the trays.
Now, a lot of doctors will blame the food industry for this ongoing problem.
Well, let me say this to you. They are really coming on board with this bill.
Good.
They have been very supportive, especially the beverage industry. When you think of the numbers of children who drink soda every day, it's not good for you. When you think of the number of children who just eat not just fast foods, but candy, chips, whatever they may be, but the food industry, the beverage industry, the grocers, they are on board.
How important is it for you to have the First Lady visibly on board and speaking out against childhood obesity?
It is especially important because obviously she has a much bigger bully pulpit than I have. So it has been a wonderful partnership. When she announced her plan, I happened to have been at the White House because at that time I was working on this bill. So she has been very supportive of it, as well as all of the members of Congress. This thing passed almost unanimously.
So it's one thing Democrats and Republicans can agree on.
Absolutely. It passed. Well, I have a Republican co-sponsor of this bill. And it passed, I think, it may have actually been unanimous. So everyone understands the epidemic and everyone wants to work with it, because when you think about the fact that 27% of all of the young people ages 17 to 24 will never even be able to serve in the military because they're not physically fit.
Gosh, crazy.
You had mentioned earlier about 80% of children they don't get out there and do any physical activity. How do we get that back into the schools? Because a lot of those classes, phys ed classes, have been eliminated.
Absolutely.
That is absolutely right. We're working on it. I sit on the Education and Labor Committee in Congress, and we are working on it. But it's something that you just can't imagine.
And a bigger problem getting that, PlayStation or those devices out of their hands and making the kids go outside.
Kids need to exercise for at least 1 hour a day. they should spend no more than 2 hours a day on anything with a screen. I mean, basically, they shouldn't, unless they're doing homework. But when you start to think about the incidence of asthma, of high blood pressure, of diabetes, of bone problems, heart problems, we have children today who are at risk of having shorter lifespans than their parents. It would be the first generation in history.
Serious problem.
It's a serious problem.
I'll tell you something. Well, Congresswoman, thank you for your time this morning.
My pleasure. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Marcia, thank you.
Well, we do. We want to give you a live look right now at our phone bank that we have set up where you can get more information about childhood obesity. Call the number right there at the bottom of your screen, 216-578-0700, and stay with us because all morning long we will be learning how to fight this ongoing problem.
And it is a major problem,
really
as we have just learned. Once again, thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
My pleasure indeed. Thank you for having me.
All right, 6:47.